So everything we're saying from the conscious space, I would say, is amplified in the quote unquote spiritual space.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is you get rewarded for being in your feminine.
This is the deep dive with Adam Roa.
To have all these men that are moving into a space of being too soft and having lost that fire and that edge and that warrior. I think that what they're running from, a lot of it stems from the vilification of the masculine that we've seen happen over the last, I don't know, it seems like it got super intense over the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the last decade has just been this, this aspect of, I had Aubert Bastiat on my podcast from Sacred Sons, actually. And we asked the question, are men to blame for all of the world's problems?
Mm-hmm.
That was our deep dive question.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because that seems to be the narrative.
Yeah.
It definitely seems to be the narrative is men have caused all of the problems. Men are the ones to blame. And as a result of that, if you claim your manhood, you are claiming evil. Mm-hmm. You are in bed with the devil. You are claiming the part of you that's caused so much harm. And so then there's this part of the masculine that's going, wait a second, I care about people. I love people. So am I am I a bad guy deep down? Well, let me move away from this. And so there's a running from that's happening there. And then there's a running to. And I think the running to is, can be described as men are being rewarded for being in their feminine within the conscious communities. And especially, we're going to say the conscious community of personal development, but as someone who runs in a lot of deeply hippie, spiritual, festival-y communities as well, it's just amplified there. So everything we're saying from the conscious space, I would say, is amplified in the quote unquote spiritual space. Yeah. And what I'm seeing is you get rewarded for being in your feminine. I noticed that, wow, I have all these women, specifically, I have these women that are acknowledging me for sharing my emotions. I have all of these women who are coming to me and telling me how safe I feel because they don't feel like any sexual energy coming from me or any of that. I'm a safe space. And I know a lot of men can relate to this. There's this reward structure in place for a man coming in and exemplifying their feminine energy because it's so opposite of what was in the masculine. So there's a reward structure here. And I think the combination of what we're running from and the reward system of what we're running to is a perfect storm for these marshmallow men.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think in many ways, especially about the reward system component. I think a lot of men, look, it's intoxicating, right? What do most men want? What do you want as a teenage boy that's attracted to women? You want attention from women. You want them to validate you. You want them to want you. You enter into manhood, into adulthood, and you start, chasing women. And so what's one of the easiest ways to get that attention and validation from women in our modern culture? It's to openly display feminine traits.